DIY. DIYers, I try not to spend too much time on conspiracy theories, but sometimes it's hard to ignore when you start seeing patterns that are playing out right before you. And I have to, at least as a responsible adult, ask the question, why? Especially as some kind of a voice in media, I must ask these questions because it's my journalistic duty. Gunna, in an interview that he had with will.i.am on the Uproxx website, he was asked a question about AI. will.i.am said, "You F with AI, Gunna?" Gunna said, "I F with it, but I'm not hands-on with it. I'm not against it. He said, I'm gonna for sure tap into it, but I'm taking my time." will.i.am says, who's definitely been somebody who's hands-on with AI. Up until now, it feels like he's definitely been operating with ethics at the front of his mind, it seems, when he's introducing these things, because he'll talk about the pros and cons and the potential dangers that may arise, but we'll get to that. will.i.am said this is next level shit. You got to tap in deep real soon, because like 2030, bro, the next 5 years is going to be so transformational. We compete with human rights now. And 2030 is going to be full-on AI artists that produce it, write it, and star in the videos. Gunna said, "I gotta sign me an AI artist fast. Get with him. You can't beat him."
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Hey, yo, DIYer, if you're enjoying this content, please don't forget to hit the like button. It helps this video and this channel get discovered by new people. I appreciate you. Now back to the video. Timbaland, will.i.am, Gunna, they're part of a collection of some pretty powerful black men voices that I'm seeing that seem to be at the forefront of helping people to understand this more. To a certain point where it's like, we need y'all to go out there and calm some of the fears that exist in your community. I'm not saying they're in cahoots with each other. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm just saying the pattern is really interesting. Because no matter what he said, no matter if it was him just being funny or being curious about it, the headline was going to read, Gunna's going to sign AI artists. And every time we get somebody saying something like this, like when Timbaland said this with Tata, to me it seems like a play to make you just that much more comfortable with it. Because if your favorite rapper is rocking with it, why not? It's inevitable. But he quote said, "I gotta sign me an AI artist fast. Get with him. You can't beat him." If it's supposed to be an assistant to what I'm doing, why would I need to beat them? Even though this is not necessarily a strong voice, I guess, in the black community, it's a strong voice in music that often collaborates with a lot of black voices, in Rick Rubin. And this was really disheartening to hear Rick Rubin say, but I wanted to understand where he's coming from. But here he compares AI to punk rock. Okay.
So in the past, for music, you had to go to the conservatory and study for years and years.
I ain't gonna lie to you, this shit look like AI too.
Somebody gonna have to tell
It's the lips. It's the lips, Chico. They never lie. It's the lips, Chico. They be like, why you do that? How you a ventriloquist dummy with your own mouth? AI be messing the lips up. That's what it is. It's the lips. It's the eyes, Chico. It's the lips, Chico. AI never lies.
So in the past, for music, you had to go to the conservatory and study for years and years, and then someday you could play in a symphony. And then when punk rock came along, you could maybe learn 3 chords in a day. And then there were all these bands, and that made it everybody. And that was how I started in music, was punk rock. If you had something to say, you could say it. You didn't need the expertise or skill set other than your idea and your ability to convey it.
With the utmost respect for Rick Rubin, because he's a voice that I've highlighted on this platform many and many a times. With the utmost respect, because I know that people bring him into the room not necessarily to play an instrument, not to DJ, not to do anything but give some very valuable advice, some zoomed out advice of how to make a deeper connection with the listeners, right? I kind of understand what he's making the connection of of punk rock being something where you have this youth that is not doing the traditional things in other rock genres, but they're playing these 3 chords, they're banging the drums. But even that in comparison to somebody who's a prompt engineer feels like more of a skill set than somebody who's like, I don't even like music, but it seems like something pretty cool to type while I'm on my lunch break. And then put it out there in the general market to compete with people who really do this, while at the same time borrowing from the skill set, stealing from the skill set of people who were used for the data training without their permission. I get a little bit of what he's getting at, but I'll let him finish this. This is disheartening.
And vibe coding is the same thing. It's the punk rock of
vibe coding. This reminds me of when they started calling playlisters tastemakers. Vibe coding? It's the punk rock of coding.
Of coding. I think the biggest disconnect that I feel myself is that it's such a strong tool that can do so much. We need some examples of some of the different things it can do. Now we'll see it can make animation that looks like your favorite cartoon, and then you see a million people doing that. But that's one idea. I want to see all of the things it could do to understand what's possible instead of just, I'm going to get it to do the same thing everyone else is getting it to do. I think it's beyond our scope to understand what it actually can do. And I'm looking forward to some of the people who push the boundaries to see what it can do.
You know, as somebody who is, you guys are watching in real time, somebody who was like, you know what? Yeah, I get how this could be used in a way that abuses its power. But I do see the benefits in using tools like a ChatGPT to assist my process, right? To make me be a better evolution of what I can do as an independent artist, a DIYer, as opposed or as compared in contrast to somebody in the 90s who didn't have all of these tools, right? I saw that. But you're watching in real time somebody who's listening to more people explain it, people that I have at one point in time looked up to the points of views of, and I'm looking at this and it's more uncomfortable, especially because the first versions that I am seeing of the abilities and capabilities of AI, it's not pushing the boundaries on things that make us better creatives. It's things that are reinforcing our biases, reinforcing our voyeuristic, and even some other people's want our necessity to be racist. It's pushing things that make me feel like, why is this the first shit that you want to show me? You're telling me about video, text to video being advanced. Look at the way that it imitates human beings. Going along the train of thought that I shared earlier, following patterns. Have you guys been seeing videos like this pop up? And isn't this really, really interesting? That it seems like AI music is leaning in to using black men to be the voices that make people calm down and feel more comfortable with this. But then here, without knowing who the fucking coder is, you have them reinforcing very subtly black stereotypes, but using it as it's just an AI doing a mukbang. I want you to watch this ridiculous fucking video that tries to reinforce stereotypes, in my opinion, but does it in such a way that makes it feel so natural and normal. Sort of.
You cut off your friend for missing your birthday dinner, but not the man who forgot your birthday?
Beyond eating the entire chicken, bone and all, and swallowing it without an issue, the fact that we're using a black woman to reinforce this is fucking mad. Oh no, they're not done. This is the same account here. Which, like I said, I have not heard it confirmed whether some of them are black men who are helping this for whatever reason. But peep this out.
My man bought me this seafood platter, but your man don't even want to get you a 4 for $4. My man.
Why this? Like, why this first? That's where I do agree with Rick Rubin. There are people who are finding things that are going viral, and they're showing us how their lack of creativity. Why this first? Right. Show me what you can do with Final Fantasy. Show me what you can do with these crazy elaborate animations because you really want to show it off. What the fuck are we doing this for? Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. This is a tip of the iceberg.
Y'all, this about to get messy, but it's gonna be worth it.
It makes me feel. It makes me feel so bad for those of you that have dedicated your lives to content in a way that you feel peer pressured by gurus and marketing people that say, man, you need to do this. You need to put out more content. Put out more content. The problem is you need to put out more content because all it did was train this stupid ass technology. I saw this video that popped up too. And once again, I'm just outlining the patterns. I know that there exist videos of other people, but these are the ones that keep showing themselves all over. This is interesting to me. Ranking is disrespectful, first of all, but this is interesting that they chose to go with this first. This is a ranking of the top 8 videos that are AI clapbacks. There's 8 of these out here and enough to make a list? The best of? Here's the best blackface racism that they can do with this AI. Show it off, why don't you?
Back in my day, I didn't have makeup, and I still look better than you.
Bitch, screw you. Back in your day, you didn't have rights. I love cooking my eggs harvested from my chickens.
Those eggs look store-bought.
Shut the fuck up, you old saggy son of a biscuit-consuming bitch.
I just made some fresh cookies.
Those don't look fresh at all.
And we know you're gonna tear them up anyways, you big-ass bitch. Get the fuck out the kitchen.
You know what this reminds me of? Because at first I was laughing. I was like, that's funny as hell to hear that shit being said. You know what this reminds me of? During the pandemic, when we was all stuck in the house, and you started to see so many black folks in hip hop arguing with each other on Clubhouse. Meanwhile, nobody was paying attention to who the owners of Clubhouse was and whether or not they look like us. But we go in there and we give these companies cultural tokens. We give them cultural authenticity. We give them all the cosigns that they need, and then they sell it off for millions that we never see. We're the biggest cosigns. Our people are the biggest cosigns. And when we start embracing and sharing it, which it feels like this is the purpose of these videos, to be shared, to help to calm people in their worries about what's happening, I just think that these patterns are really interesting. They're weird and racist as shit, but they're interesting.
Can I get a cheeseburger and fries?
I think you had enough burgers and fries.
Just give me the burger minimum wage, ho.
All right, Rolly from Baddies, here you go.
Nuh-uh. This heat is damaging my hair.
Oh, sweetie, your hair was damaged long ago.
Just like your hip.
Just made this cake from scratch.
Oh, that looks store-bought.
Get your ass back to the nursing home. Ah!
Is that a weave?
Once again, these are the videos that you show off first in the first generation? Why? Why are these the first videos? Why are these the first videos? Shout out to Bone Nightmare. I found this tweet here that said, and the first victims of AI, black women, living rent-free in the minds of team white supremacy. I don't think it's just white folk. I think it's a bunch of folks who are able to cosplay and take whatever. Matter of fact, I won't even just say that. I think it's some of the folks that look like us who are also helping this thing get better at its colonizing. Don't get distracted. This will either force self-correction or AI will further adapt and get better at mocking blacks till you no longer know the difference, thus blurring the lines of reality. Keep your eyes on this. It says Ultima drivers be like.
Quandale, I'm about to pull up. Tell Shanae.
Quandale,
I'm about to pull up. Tell Shanae.
Tell Shanae. I haven't heard that name since the 90s on Martin. Who the fuck is writing that? It doesn't sound like us.
Plenty of room. Dead ass.
Ugh, they literally just walked right out. Hey, hold on, Quanda. I'm finna get some chicken.
So now you've given people a tool that lets them exercise their racism in 4K without ever having to be the person that gets canceled. They found a way to hide behind the racism. And it's a powerful tool that allows you to do this and then have the very people that you're attempting to offend and be racist to join in the sharing of it. Because fuck it, it's AI. This is it's AI minstrel shows, and they're doing this and they're letting the thing fly out. I think it's very, very strategic why they're choosing these. I got my theories and we'll get into it. Here's something else that brings the story back around, something I did not know. Shout out to my guy Jay Nolan. He shared this. Remember that effing Mecca? I don't know if you remember this. It was an AI rapper from a few years ago. This is their first time trying to soft launch a rapper that they created. By they, I do mean there was a white coder that came out, but you didn't hear that first. You saw the rapper get around there. He sounded like a Tekashi 6ix9ine character. And as you can see, like he can look like he's mixed with a few different things. Not only was he rapping like Tekashi, not only was he doing all kind of rapper shit on his TikTok, but he was saying nigga at a crazy pace. Just all the damn time. Just mimicking things that he thinks that he heard, I guess. Jay Nolan says the more things change, they really don't. Gunna, the one that made that statement earlier, it's not his first foray with AI. He collaborated with the AI artist Effin Mecca, the ugly ass, racially ambiguous character programmed by white developers to say nigga, and was discontinued in 2022. Doesn't it make that statement he says about, I gotta sign me an AI artist sound so crazy now? Why? I want to highlight some people here who answered that question, because I see it for one thing, but I understand that I am only one point of view. I said there's very specific reason these tech companies are buying off the voices of black men to champion AI music. There's a very specific reason these tech companies chose black women and age-old stereotypes to show off their AI video technology. Why do you think that is? Jazzy said, because black creativity sets the trends, so tech companies use our faces and voices to sell their products, but keep the power and profit for themselves. It's exploitation disguised as innovation. Cook. Because they saw Terminator, says Lucky Lawrence. My dog Rich Lotta said, we set the trends. My guy D-Lux says, gentrification of races and profiting off the stereotypes with no back talk. Full control on how entertainment would be for the future without the people that make the most entertainment and art. Let me know if I'm on the right path. QMC Boo says replacement. You no longer have to pay back artists or content creators for their work or their voice. You can create it. You can create new narratives too. The whole playing field of AI is nasty. Jaleisha says, we decide what's cool. There was one that got me really, that I thought was really good. This one right here. John says black culture and creativity is the one thing the colonizers haven't been able to replicate yet. They hate the fact that they have to push us to reach us. They have to pay us to reach us. And they wish they could just cut out the middleman. Yeah. This is beyond the conversation of AI anymore. This is the same shit, different toilet. AI can be a very, very powerful tool. And just like money, money can be the root of all evil. It can also be a magnifying glass into who you've already been, right? The money didn't make somebody more of an asshole. They were just an asshole without opportunity. You get what I'm saying? So AI does have some very demonic things that are undeniable, especially when you give that power and put it in the wrong hands. However, this is a deeper conversation than just that. This to me feels like a very focused effort to make sure that we co-sign it first. And when I start thinking about all of the people that have been used in this conversation, even alchemists, And I understood the points that an alchemist was making on Twitter when he was going back and forth with some people about how this is the future. We need to embrace this, and the third. I get it. But I can't help but feel like maybe these were the same conversations that artists were having back in the streaming era when it first became a public conversation. I can't help but feel like there are people who they're so close to the edge of giving up. They're like, this might as well embrace it. Ain't nothing to do about it. And then 10 years from now, we'll be complaining about something new, something updated. That sounds very similar to what we're saying about the unfair payment of streams. I'm seeing people ignore their fans who say, we don't want the AI art. And it's not even about it being AI. It's about it just not being fucking good. You have your fans saying, hey, that artwork that you just put out is so obviously AI and so lazily prompted. I can tell it's AI, and I don't even like AI. They're telling you it's lazy. They're showing you examples. Even someone showed an example of the artwork for the Erykah Badu and Alchemist song looking exactly like the Sonic Youth album cover. This is where I start to feel like websites like a ChatGPT, websites like a Midjourney, if you were operating things in an ethical way, it'd be so easy for you to do this. As people are generating images that are borrowed from all of these different artists all over the world, different styles, how difficult would it be for you to put the sources that you're doing this learning from, this data training? How difficult would it be to put the artist names in their websites so it humanizes this experience? How difficult would it be to demand people who are making these racist AI videos to put a profile picture up or they can't generate it? It must be a human being. I've seen Discords that have that. It must be a human being and it must be you, verified by your ID. I know why. I know because they want to push this technology forward. Damn it. Damn if it hurts somebody. Damn if it embraces racist rhetoric. Be damned if this happens during an election year and you see people that look like you after this AI has advanced and they're sharing political views that you yourself don't share, but they're telling stories that may be influential upon your views because of how they look. It's so dangerous. It's so dangerous. And this is why I don't compare this shit to when cassette tapes went to CDs. I don't compare this to punk rock. This is something so uniquely different and so uniquely dangerous. We can't do that. We can't do this generalizing of, oh, it's the same thing as, oh, y'all, it's not that. It's not that. Because we're going to put ourselves in a situation where whatever lessons we did not learn or we did learn from streaming, especially for us as artists, we're going to now make that problem 20 times worse. The difference with all these other places where people are having their copywritten stuff, used in a illegal way by other human beings, there's laws for that. The government's not protecting them. You can sue them. You can't do this with these AI companies. Not in quite the same way. It's class action lawsuits that you can do, but they're bending fair use in such a way that it is nasty work. I'm just sick and tired of them obviously using faces and voices of people that look like me and you first. That's when I start backing away and I say, I've seen this game before. I've seen this play before. And hearing people talk about this in such a purposely obtuse way just has me to the point where I'm like, stay in the know, but don't fall down the hole. Use your ethics along the way and make sure you challenge these folks to do the same thing. DIYers, Gunna is the next one. He won't be the last one. What are your thoughts on this? Does it make you feel more at ease with it? Or does it make you more skeptical about what's the actual game plan? Leave it down below in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Stop being greedy. Peace.